Welcome, welcome. I am so glad to be here today with some of our speakers from the Design Live Thrive Summit. We just wrapped it up a couple of days ago, and I'll tell you, everyone is so excited, including me. I cannot wait for you to hear from all the speakers. I have with me our co-host, Thais Glenn.
Hello, I'm back.
All right, I'm going to go just around the room and ask you guys some questions about your experience with the summit. Please feel free to share anything that comes up. All right. So I'm going to start with Lisa. Lisa, tell us about you and your journey to be a summit speaker. What was that like?
All right. It was great. It was a great decision. I did not even hesitate. I couldn't wait to join in on the summit, and mainly because I wanted to see how everything that we had learned would piece together. It was fragmented and it was education, but I wanted to see it all compiled together. And what a lot of work that is. And I was excited about being part of it. I learned so much, and I really would love to be part of other summits after doing this one.
Well, that is exciting and so possible because now you actually have a talk that's ready. You have a freebie and a funnel. We'll use the word funnel. Now you have a funnel that's set up. And so you can go take that talk and say, like, look, I'm ready to be in any kind of summit. So excellent idea. We set you up for success there. All right, I'm going to move on to Marie. Tell me, Marie, kind of what you thought through the summit preparation period and maybe what you're most proud of.
Okay, trying to hit the button and it was like, oh. So very different. And I do a lot of webinars, and I do a lot of trainings, but this was so different because there was much more involved in it. And I jumped on the bandwagon right away because I wanted to learn, like Lisa, what was it going to entail, and how can I present myself in an even better space. So I had to do a lot of coordinating with my backgrounds and, from home into the office. I learned how to time myself better because my first recording was 17 minutes, and I know Debbie was going, and I was like, okay. I had the thing in front of me, and I ended up with like 15 seconds left the day of the summit. I was like, oh my God, so close. But I learned I actually had the best time. I really did. It was such a wonderful experience once I put everything into place, and I took a deep breath and I said, okay, the dogs are over there. The mother-in-law is over there. The doors are closed. The phone is off. Just go and have some fun. And I did. And to have the opportunity was just incredible. And to be with all these other women was just, what a great opportunity.
It was a great opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, so much fun. We loved it, Marie.
It's such a great time. And I remember it's just like being together as a group that we have already spent so much time, right, during these few months of preparation. And then we get to see the end result. And it's just the adrenaline that comes through when you're speaking. And yours, Marie, your talk, so good, so much energy there. Yes, I agree with everything that you guys both said. Now, I wanted to point out something that Lisa said, because I think it's valid to just take a little time here and notice how important it is for us to see the whole puzzle together, right? Like inside of BBB now, Debbie started to talk about how we have 4 different pieces to get your business together. And it's not just the marketing, it's not just your brand, it's not just, right, like your CEO mindset. You have to have the whole puzzle together to make the business work. And a lot of times we learn one step, the other step, and what Lisa is saying, and Lisa especially because she asks very specific questions like, what is the sequence on Flowdesk does that didn't do that? Like they specific. And the only way for you to actually learn is by doing it. And now she can see the whole difference of, right? We're not just worried about one sequence. We wanted to think on the whole, and then we separate of step by step how that actually works. So I think that was a great point you made, Lisa, that how we do see that in a summit like this, right? We see the whole business put together. And I wanted to ask Monique, because I'm dying to hear her talk about her experience. I'm dying to hear her talk about her experience of what has changed because she was part of the summit. Monique.
Okay, I'm going to start with saying thank you for the opportunity. And I have been following Debbie and her business for a couple of years before I actually clicked the button and joined her coaching community, which is, I just have to say a shout out. It is fantastic. And the opportunity to do this summit has allowed me to see the different parts that Debbie has been teaching us put together in a way that it's a beginning, like we learn our branding and our marketing and emailing, but we have to do all of those things for the summit. So it wasn't just learning a little part, we had to implement everything. So for me, understanding how they all fit together and why was a really big aha moment to see all of it together for one event, which was basically like on the job training. And it was fantastic. And I love the opportunity to talk and share with people what I know. And I could have talked for an hour. I mean, I have so much to say. So I just have to learn to be a little bit more concise. So thank you so much. And I can see this is shifting me in my business going forward.
Yes, we do have this big shift done. That's why that's what I told you guys all the time, how that my very first summit, it was that before and after. And that's what I mean, right? It seems like, oh, it's just a talk. It's just, a talk and a summit, but it changes your identity, right? So I want to ask Danielle, because she is an identity coach. And I have been, like, I had the honor to watch her identity shift from the very beginning when she first came into our program, and all the growth that she had to become an entrepreneur. And just, coaching her on this business mindset and seeing her own self-coach and her growth. I want to ask you, Danielle, what was your aha moment during the summit, and how does that shift your identity?
Oh gosh. Again, thank you for having me here and being part of the summit. I actually, Monique said she joined Debbie after 2 years. I actually joined the BBB without even having a conversation with Debbie after that first Canva workshop. I don't even think I talked to her. And I said, yes. And it's been such a huge growth opportunity for me over this last year. And I actually wrote this in my email this weekend, that I've always seen myself as a professional woman, but I had a lot of imposter syndrome over the very beginning. And as we've grown throughout, especially during the summit time, that imposter syndrome has really left. Like, I definitely see, like, the professional woman is back. And I feel like I have so much to give and support my clients, because I feel better about how I'm showing up in the world now.
Nice. That's amazing. That is amazing. And that changes how you act in your business, right? When you see yourself as a professional, and when you see yourself through the lenses of the imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Very different doing the summit in those different identities, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Charlotte,
Thank you.
I want to ask you, Charlotte, about you're a doer by nature. You're a doer. You're one of the ones who takes all the action. But what do you think about the summit? How was that different, or how has that made you different now as we think about all the things you're going to do going forward? You're good at marketing already, but how has the summit changed that for you?
The summit, it gave me confidence in what I was doing. Because, as we're going through our different classes and you're telling us to do this and that, and it's all good. And I did it because I trusted that you knew what you were talking about. But it wasn't until actually seeing all those pieces come together, actually getting results from the summit. So that was one of my big takeaways, that just do the work. The things that they're assigning you to do, just do them. And if you do them, they are going to work for you. It's going to help bring your business forward. Um, the other thing that really impressed me is it just showed the compassion that you and Thais have. You know, in my email, I get all kind of emails about coaches. I can help you make this amount of money. You can have thousands of clients, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is that as a coach, you don't know who to believe. But when I became a part of your program, I saw the compassion that you have for us, how you really were helping us and wanting to help us. That's just an aha moment. You don't see that. You don't see other coaches that put on a summit for those who are part of the program. So, I mean, I'm just so grateful that you did that, but it just shows your authenticity. Shows your compassion and the love for the people that you're working with.
Well, thank you. I can speak for Thais and I'll speak for myself. We do love you guys. We do for sure. We love your businesses. And in this preparation process, I mean, we feel like we're, with you the whole way as you're working on your talk and all that. So thank you. All right, Teresa, can you tell us what it was like to be part of the summit?
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you for letting me be a part of the summit. It was a great experience. And for me, because I came in a little bit late, I think, and so I just at first was quite nervous, but then preparing for it, it really helped me narrow down my marketing message, and it helped me balance out my social media for myself and for the summit, and built up confidence for myself. Over the last summer, a lot of things were going on in my personal life, and this really helped me be stable and focus. And I think I just really grew as a coach, as a woman, and experiencing something new at this age. I think it's just an example for other women to go forward and don't give up.
Yeah, and you grew in your business too, my dear.
Yes, and I already have a workshop for next Saturday because I felt so confident. I just want to keep going with this.
I love it. I love it. Well, you guys, if you're listening and wherever you're listening from, whether it's YouTube, and by the way, make sure you subscribe on YouTube so that you can follow along, but please connect with these coaches. Connect with them, have complimentary calls with them, and just find out how they can support you, because that's the whole purpose of the summit. So, Thais, you want to go?
Yeah. I know that you guys, like all of you here and all of the summit people, right? Like all of the summit speakers, I know you have grown so much. And I was able to see the whole thing as was happening, and Debbie too. But on the Saturday after the summit, I came up here to my office and I was just crying gratitude. And I started a Facebook Live with all of you and just sharing how grateful I am. And my therapist, actually, she was asking me about, like, what are you grateful for? Like, it doesn't make sense. And I was like, grateful to witness your growth. And I think that is what I will forever be grateful for, especially being a part of the summit. Grateful of this amazing work that you were able to do, and I was able to witness and support and guide, right? But again, seeing what you have created, and not only that, we all know that you're amazing coaches, but how can we be amazing business owners and seeing that growth in you? So I do want to ask Vicky, for you, Vicky, specifically, what has changed? Like, what has changed in your business, or what has changed how you see yourself, or what is happening to you?
I really grew in confidence. I think it was, Tice, a lot of it was my mindset work that I did the day before, and it just kept replaying in my mind. You saying, I trust you. You don't need your notes. You've got this. Like, you know. It's it's all that support and encouragement we've received behind the scenes for such a long period of time, that really created that shift, because the day before the summit, that imposter syndrome hit me hard, and I had to work through that, but I kept hearing your voice, so that means a lot.
Did you hear my accent too, or just the voice?
The accent too, yeah.
That's what I heard. You guys hear my accent too. But listen, that is why it's so important to have, real support behind you. Because Vicky, and you haven't been working with us for that long. We just met a couple of months ago. But with you specifically, you came in and you know your stuff, right? Like you show us these huge spreadsheets with all the financial everything that you can possibly think of. And it blows my mind that you're even able to make spreadsheets like that, let alone explain to someone what you're doing. So that blows my mind. So I have never had any kind of, like I've never distrusted your capability as a coach. And my job here was to help you see yourself as a business owner too. But you did, because your talk was really good. And I don't know, what are you doing from now on? Like, what is your next step? What have you decided to do to keep the momentum going?
I'm starting to offer lunch and learns, and that's something that I've actually put on my calendar several months ago, and then I just never marketed for it. And so then it was on my calendar, and the days would pass, and now it's on. I'm marketing for it. It's happening. I have people registered, and then I also have consultations coming up, or free coaching calls also. So
Amazing.
potential clients. So one-on-one coaching and more to come.
Amazing. Amazing. Abby?
Is it my turn? I thought you only asked one.
Okay,
Sorry.
the next thing I would ask, if you want me to go, is like, I want to know everyone's results, like what has happened in a summit. And I would just ask you guys to raise your hand and say it, if you want to. Or do you want to ask that way, Debbie?
Okay, I can't wait to hear about what has happened since the summit. We know some of you guys have had some dramatic shifts. And look, maybe the shift is just in your mind about your business. Or maybe you heard some comments in the chat, because there was a lot of chat going on. We had 1,000 people sign up for the summit. So it was pretty cool. There was a lot of people. And I don't think the speakers know, on Friday alone, there were 600 different people in and out of the Zoom rooms, which is pretty cool. So, we provide a schedule, so people are coming at the times when the talk is the talk that they're interested in hearing. But I'd love to hear if there's anybody who wants to share 48 hours out from the summit. Has anything happened in a positive way or changed about you and your business? You can raise your hand. Yep, go ahead, Charlotte.
It's made me more outspoken. After doing the summit, doing my presentation, then it just gave me that momentum to keep on going. So I think that Friday after the summit, I went and I was out and about. It was a restaurant owner, talked to her. Then we scheduled they call it a chat, where you go in and you talk about your business. You know, uh, I got about 16 people that signed up for my freebie. So I have people there that I'm going to nurture. And then I was able to get, so far it's been 2, but it's been coming in slowly, little by little. But I have so far 2 consultations. So, and that's good, So I have a workshop that's going on this month. I have a presentation that I'm doing this month as a speaker. And then next month, I'm also I'm going to be a presentation. So it's giving me that momentum just to keep going.
Well, that's cool. I would say 2 consultations coming in 48 hours since you talked, or 72 maybe since you, is pretty darn good. So that's especially for you guys who are listening or watching on YouTube. You might not know this because you don't know everybody's niche. But Charlotte's niche is very specific. Charlotte coaches people who've had bariatric surgery and who have regained the weight. So for her to have 2 consultation calls from a summit of people who are just women coming, we don't know how many of those qualify or are in that category. When you think about it like that, that's pretty amazing. Those are 2 people who are calling themselves her ideal client because they scheduled with her. So Charlotte, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Monique, Monique, how about you?
You're muted. You're muted, Monique.
You're muted.
I was very excited with the outcome immediately. I have 20 people who have signed up for the lead magnet. I do have 11 people who have scheduled phone calls. And what I am going to offer in October, because I'm going to be gone for 12 days starting this weekend. I'm going out of town for, doing some organizing work and then a little vacation. But I am going to offer some group live coaching kind of around the topics. I may pick 2 different dates and pick a couple of the different topics that I talked about in the summit. Come live free in a Zoom, toss me your questions. Let's see what we can do with that. And then I will be relaunching a membership this fall. So kind of working on how I'm going to bring those things together for a group membership for midlife women that are doing the same things, but nobody really wants to talk about organizing your closet or getting the papers. Like, it's not fun. So let's make it fun so that we stick with what we want to do and make progress. And I also have done paper organizing retreats, which sound really boring, but when we're done, the weight, the physical weight and the emotional weight that gets lifted allows women to breathe and move forward. So that's my biggest thing, is how can we get you moving forward and not stuck with this noose around your neck or the guilt because you haven't done it yet. Let's just do it together and keep going. So that's what I'm excited about this fall.
Monique, I talked to somebody today that has one of those calls with you, and she is somebody who is divorced in the last year, downsized her house. And as you talked about in your talk, it's not just about clearing that kind of clutter. It's about clearing all the clutter that's going on in your head and your mind and like your soul from this.
And that chatter is what stops us.
Yeah.
We can see the rooms and know we have to do it, but it starts with that self chatter that can be so defeating, and it's really unnecessary. Like, we just need to keep moving.
Yeah.
But the way you taught was a little bit different. I won't go into too many details because I think by the time this episode is aired, you can still buy the the VIP pass and for $27, and you get the replays, right? You can watch it for you won't be
still buy the replay for $47.
Oh, $47, darn it. You can still buy the replay for $47 and totally worth it, by the way. And I really want, if you have clutter in your house, I want you to listen to Monique's talk. And maybe, Debbie, you might even need to, I will share a picture with you later, and you decide if you want to put in your in your Instagram of what her talk has done to me, because I have been a crazy lady here decluttering my house after listening to her talk on, last week. So it works because it's not just let's clean the closet, right? You have all this work behind the scenes, behind your mind, that really guide you to keep going. So all of your talks are amazing and unbelievable. I really enjoyed watching all of your talks. So Lisa, I wanted to hear from you too. Tell me a little bit more of what would you say to someone who's starting their business and wondering if is the summit too hard for me, or should I do a summit? What do you think?
I think if I would have joined the summit even 6 months ago, I would have been ready for it. For this reason, I wasn't ready for it and I needed it. And it wasn't so fast paced that you would be behind or anything. You would just see things come together, and it would help you work harder for your future, your future classes in BBB. And yeah.
What a great answer. I
I think,
love the answer so much.
yeah, I
So
feel
much.
like we all have our business in the marketplace, right? We all need to wiggle in and find our space. So we all have a business, we all have purpose, and we need to get on our street corners and put ourselves out there.
Yeah.
And narrowing our niche is the best thing that we can do. It's not eliminating people. It's calling your people in so that you have less gazers at the counter. Or, you've got more people who are interested in working with you. So I had no problem with the summit. I feel like a lot of the work was done for us. We really just had to put out other people's work and our work and advertise. Even most of that was done for us. So it was
Oh,
awesome.
hold on. It was not done for you. You guys had to do the
Yeah,
work
we
for
had to do our
sure.
part. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me. Oh, hold on. I forgot. Oh, she said something. Hold on. Oh, gosh. Something so interesting that you said. I forgot.
I got on a consult call with somebody who was really appreciative of the fact that the niche was narrowed right down. Uh, I probably would not have gotten that call if the niche wasn't narrowed down to a grief to work coach.
Yes, and that is what I was going to say.
I think so, yeah.
Because yeah, your niche now is so specific, right? That we did have more grief coaches talking in the summit, but yours, I wouldn't say they stood out, but yours was very different, even though it was the same topic overall, right? Grief and how we grieve and how people can support you throughout the grief. In your specific case, it's like but so that you can go back to work and do a good job at work because
Right.
it doesn't if you need the money if you need the job, right, it doesn't matter how much you're grieving. You might get a 1 or 2 weeks off, right? You might have a couple days vacation,
Mhm.
but you have to get back. So I loved your example just now, and Charlotte is another beautiful example of very specific niches that whenever someone have a loss, whenever someone has a loss in their lives and they need to go back to work, your voice, your right summit talk, your face will show up in their minds to refer you to them. And Charlotte, the same thing, right? As soon as I heard Charlotte's niche, I was like, oh, I have a sister-in-law who had that problem, right? Like it gets your mind thinking of that specific person. So
Mhm.
thank you for bringing up that example. I think we get so nervous sometimes to uh, niche down and hone in one specific thing, but you're correct.
Other people I spoke to were nervous for me, and I just said, I'm going to trust my teachers. They're the experts. And I did, and follow Debbie and Theis's lead because seriously, they know what they're doing.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
Lisa. Thank you. How about Danielle? Danielle, you apparently, even before the summit, you got some exciting news there. Didn't you get a client or something before
I
the summit?
did. I did. I signed a couple of clients, so that's been really good. I think one of the things that I took away from being part of the summit as well is the being able to go live on social. And I think that that part of that confidence helped me develop the clients as well. So I think just building that confidence is almost more than anything. And it's just so easy to just get on there and talk now. And 6 months ago, that couldn't have happened. I was not ready to do that 6 months
That's
ago.
cool. That is cool. And
So
I don't know you, Debbie, but that surprised me a lot when I started seeing on my Instagram all those coaches going live and just walking and talking and sharing the message. And I think Lisa had ones where she's sitting down by her desk and she has a cup of coffee or something and she's just talking to you. And I was like, what's happening? What's happened that all of you guys just feeling this rush of confidence to just go live and talk about something like this? That was really fun to watch.
I
yeah,
think it's I think it's underrated sometimes. People think, oh, I'll just do my social media, like a new coach. I'm just going to use social media until it really gets down to it. And then they're not being honest about the fact that they're putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, because in reality, you don't really want to fess up to somebody that you're scared, that you're not sure if you're going to do it right. You don't want to look like a fool when you go do it. So all those kind of things actually keep you from doing what seems so easy. And in reality, we understand, Thais and I understand, like, no, it's not easy to do this stuff. There is a lot of how, you do need to know how to do it. And to us, those are justified questions. So we do understand and fully appreciate. And it's not, we remember, it's not that long ago. We remember being scared ourselves to go do that. So congratulations to you guys that did it. And Daniela, yours was just like day after day after day. So
Yeah.
And I even tried to bring in social pop. I even did my Taylor Swift, being in the Taylor Swift era. So I took advantage of,
I thought that was so
bringing her in.
good. So good that you did that. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have a win that they want to share since the last 2 days since the summit, or maybe the outcome of the summit for you? Marie.
So the Friday is the day that I spoke, and Saturday I was teaching a defensive driving class, and it was so interesting for me because it was a big class. I had 39 senior citizens, and they do this live because they don't want to be on the computer. But what I noticed for myself was that the energy that I had from the day before carried over into my in-person class, because I used a lot of the things that I spoke about, and I wove them into, because defensive driving, 6 hours can be awfully boring. And I just wove all of that into it. And by the end of the 6 hours, I was still riding. I was still riding the wave. And I was still feeling that energy. So it was, I felt it. And when I got home, I took a little nap, but then I sat down and I made a list of 100 topics to do 30-second videos on, so that I could begin the process of putting myself in that space. I haven't done that. And that's where I've been, just not getting to the video part of it. And I was like, oh, okay, this isn't really all that bad. You do this live all the time, but now you can do it with a video. Click.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love that. And I want to share, when Marie did her talk, which it was phenomenal. It was honestly, I had goosebumps while she was talking. But partway through it, she got off on her slides. And the thing that's beautiful about this is it's like, okay, yeah, we had a plan to use slides, and we worked on it. We did all that. And then it's like, oh, well, in the middle of the talk, it didn't work the way she wanted it to. So it's like, oh, just finish up without it. But there's learning in that, right? When you're in the middle of it, to just know, like, I can navigate anything. I can be in the middle of the thing and the slides are going, whoops, they're going the wrong way, and whoops. And it's like, okay, it doesn't matter. I'm going to still keep talking, because you knew what you were talking about anyway. And it was phenomenal. So anyway, Marie, thank you so much.
I think the only thing I was disappointed in for myself, with the slides kind of messing up my last slide, which had my QR code on it for my complimentary handout. That was the only thing. But other than that, and then I noticed in the chat that the link was there. So I was like, okay, don't sweat this. It's, and you'll just go back and that's it. No big deal.
Yeah.
You'll use the slide and you'll get it out there.
Yeah. Yeah, we got you covered. We put the link for the
thank
QR code
goodness.
in the chat, so you wouldn't miss
Mhm.
lead.
Yeah. But you see, that's where the entrepreneurial mindset comes in handy, right? Because the entrepreneur, they're ready to pivot when it needs to be pivoted, right? If you are in the middle of a presentation like this, and maybe your Canva doesn't work, or right, whatever happens, we need to learn what to do then, instead of, oh, nothing works, or even worse, I am bad, right? You see how I can do this, or you see how I am not good enough. It's like, no, and in your case, Marie, you did so beautiful. And I think would be in the recording, that was so beautiful how you just like, okay, this is not working anymore. Let's keep going, right? That pivot
Well, it
shows
was so good
resilience.
because I think it was you, Debbie, that said, just keep going, Marie. We already stopped sharing for you. And I was like, okay, no problem. But I also learned that this was a different forum. But before COVID, we did a lot of presentations and we had a lot of equipment. You had the monitor and you had the screen and you had to have your deck and you had to have your computer. And I can't tell you how many times that the technology decided it just wasn't going to be in my favor. And you had to know your stuff to be able to keep moving and not panic.
Right.
I won't say that I wasn't like, and I took that deep breath and I went, okay. But it just reminded me that back then, these things, they come up and it's got to roll with the punches.
Yes.
Well, I
Yeah.
think you did beautiful. I'm not kidding. I had goosebumps, and I know that's what
Thank
people were
you.
saying in the chat too. Miss Chief Possibility Officer.
That's great. Teresa, I think Charlotte mentioned this before, how she felt like the timing was really good of the preparation that we gave for the summit. And for you, you came in a little bit later, didn't you? You started the program after even we started the preparation for the summit. How was that for you?
At first, it was a little intimidating. I was like, how am I ever going to get this done? I'm not ready to be a speaker on the summit. And then I guess I thought, okay, well, I am going to go forward and just do it and just do the work and see what happens. And it was actually a very phenomenal experience for me, creating my message, the talk, doing all the things, and talking, presenting, and then hearing everyone say about how calming my voice was. I was like, oh wow, maybe there's something else for me to do. But yeah, it was an experience, and I could see myself going forward with more summit talks.
Okay, I forgot about that, but that's true. I remember listening to your talk and I was just feeling so relaxed that like I could fall asleep. And I was like, that's weird because it's not that your talk was boring at all, but why was I feeling so relaxed? And then I read in the comments people talking about how your voice was like meditating. I was like, oh, that's why. I was truly thinking about this. It's like my whole body just relaxed as you were speaking your talk. And it was just
Mhm.
like me listening to your voice. It was great. So yes, I do agree that you have something else there. I don't know if it's recording some meditations or how you can add some of that in your coaching, but that's right. I forgot about that. It was
Yes.
beautiful. And that made the talk even more, impactful because you're
Yes.
already talking about how to fill up your cup and right, like not keep going with your empty cup. How to do that from the inside out with the voice. Oh, it was just perfect. I love it.
Thank you.
It
Thank
was
you.
a safe, it made it a safe space, basically. It's what it was like your voice was safe and what you were saying was just very comforting. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. It's true. Like it was very safe. You're right. That one.
And that's the message I want for my clients to understand that, you're going to be in a safe space. And so that's what that talk was representing for me and to share with them.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, give me just 1 second. Hold on just a second.
Everybody freeze. All right, Vicky, I'm going to move to you next. Are you ready? Vicky, I would love to know about your self-belief. You touched on confidence a little bit, the level of confidence that you had, but what is your self-belief in your ability to have a business now? So you talked about confidence in your speaking and that, but just in your belief about being in business now.
Yes. Um, a lot of it. So is finding my unique voice. Like I've always been a doer, but also a visionary. But with my roles as in finance and in corporate finance. So now with bringing it to being a small business and no longer having a full team, I'm learning all the little things that I've always had, you know, somebody else to go to for, like marketing and um, just the daily functions of a business that I've always been able to just outsource. So seeing it all come to place and actually the workflow with that has been very, very interesting in a different way than I expected it to be. But so my self-belief in myself to be actually be able to go through and do these things, it has really transformed. I'm finding that I'm able to work through the different workflows, the different structures, get organized around it. Still working on organizing even like my thoughts that go with it, because I do think so abstract at times, to bring it all in. Yeah, it's been a journey and very enlightening and encouraging and all the things.
Well, I have to tell everybody that we had a song. Who knew? A song that it plays in my head that was a theme song that Vicky created for us. Vicky created the theme song that was 8 minutes long. Who knew the Design Live Thrive song was going to be a deal? But it sang through everybody's bio. She had a slide presentation that went with it. It was unbelievable. Vicky, I mean, if there's anybody listening that wants to do something unbelievable for a presentation, Vicky is your go-to girl, because what she put together for us was, I mean, we're going to have you do it for the next summit and hopefully forever, because that was really cool. And now I can see how you could do it for your own business, by the way, hint, hint to anybody else, where it could be like a soundtrack that played behind, like on a reel, that played a little clip behind on a reel that you had words over the top of it. So Vicky, thank you so much for that. I mean, I just loved it. That was so cool. So anyway, let's wrap up, guys. We have a lot of work to do going forward. That is so much fun as we get to reconnect with the people that we've already met at the summit, and there'll be more. I mean, the replays haven't been listened to, so there's going to be so much more. We're literally just 2 days out from it. So is there anything else anybody else wants to say before we wrap up? Anybody? Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so much. The next summit is February 12th. Our first speakers that will take those spots are going to be the current speakers and or our past clients, either way, and we'll fill those spots. And what remains will be available for coaches who are signing up actually right away, because it's time to get started on the next summit. You guys, boy, oh boy, that next summit, we got to raise the bar to be able to meet, to be able to go more than what you guys have already done for us. So you were awesome. If you have not listened to the replays yet, please do so. I'll leave a link here on YouTube in the show notes. I will leave a link on YouTube in the comment section and on whatever podcast platform you listen to on the show notes, where you can grab the replay. It is so well worth it. $47. Every coach has a gift for you, along with all of the training. So you guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and Thais's. We can't thank you enough for putting yourself out there, for sharing what it is that you're passionate about. I have only talked to a handful of women since then that attended the summit, but it's unanimous that what you guys taught them has been life-changing. I mean, I think everybody would agree. What you guys did was incredible. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful, wonderful day, you guys. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, I feel better about that episode. Thank you so much. This one had a little more energy to it. So thank you, guys. We won't bug you again until the next summit.
We might. We might.
So,
It was
okay.
great. I don't know about my babbling there at the end. I'm like,
Right,
"Ah,
we'll
I'm
edit.
struggling."
Listen, we'll go through and we'll edit anything out that we think needs to be edited out. I need to see how long it's actually and all that kind of stuff. So we'll listen to it. Oh, Lisa just left, but she
Oh,
can
it's
come back.
Lisa. I thought it was Charlotte that left.
Charlotte left first and then Lisa just left, but Lisa left at the end. So
I
is there
yeah,
anything
I
you
gotta
guys,
leave. I've got a coaching call.
yeah, you go. Anything you guys need? Anybody? Bye. Anybody? Okay. All right. We'll see y'all later. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Guys, do you need me for anything?